Glorious. No, I won't give in till I'm victorious.
And hello again, welcome to the chassis variant series of myself, Critical Rocket, and here we are with the second of the Charger variants that I have available to me, the CGR-3K. Now this is, much like the 1A5 before it, was also a modification of a modification, so this is Kurita's modifications basically. A while into the Charger's lifespan, House Kurita wanted to also make the mech more effective as a frontline combat unit. So one of their earlier modifications was to make one that was designated the 1A9. This model actually added jump jets to the Charger, reduced its max speed to about 64 kph, but gave it some more firepower in the form of an LRM system and a bunch of medium lasers. The model was considered a large improvement over the earlier Chargers that were used and fit the Combine combat style more closely. The 3K is a model that was built when Lost Tech was available once again. This model brought the Charger back up to its original speed of 86 kph, and to do this they had to add a XL400. Obviously that means your biggest problem with this mech is that it has easy pop side torsos, and yes, I am running this with the XL400 currently in this video and it's not skilled. So, you have a mech here that can very easily pop. However, the weapons is still a lot better than even the 1A9. You have 4 medium pulses now instead of 4 medium lasers, and the LRM-20 has an Artemis system for better accuracy, and it's got an extra jump jet. Woohoo! Whole extra 1 jump jet. So basically you've got the same speed as the standard 1A1, combined with a better punch, at the drawback of, you know, death by side torso. And trust me, that almost happens in this video. So yeah, I really like it. I like all the Charger variants. I like the Charger in general. I like much like the Banshee. These are two maligned assault mechs that didn't really get much. I felt that when they were writing the clans, they kind of did the same thing with the Gargoyle and the Executioner, where they were two assault mechs that looked, well, they didn't look that impressive, and their weapon systems weren't that impressive. They had little quirks about them that made them, you know, different from other assault mechs. And that's kind of what the Charger and the Banshee were originally. The Charger was this quirky assault that runs really fast but has virtually no weapons, and the Banshee was this quirky assault that had tons of armor but very, very poor weaponry. Both of them ended up favouring, you know, melee combat. You can see me getting peppered by shitloads of missiles. The matchmaker just gave one team pretty much all the LRMs. So yeah, this was quite fun for me, because it's nice to see some of the modifications that were written in later on in some of the other books, like playing around with these mechs and trying to make them more combat effective. And it comes up with some pretty interesting builds. I really like this. A super fast moving assault mech that's capable of doing some good brawling damage with its pulses, but can support the team. So you start out at range with your LRM launcher, and then switch out into a more aggressive medium pulse build when the fight is dying down. It's perfect. Plus the pulses are a great defense at short range, and yeah, they're a little bit hot. Obviously all the weapons in here are quite hot. The LRM-20 alone will generate a fair amount of heat, but the pulse lasers are a good backup. It definitely discourages quite a few enemies from deciding they want to face tank you, and yeah, you can blow limbs off quite easily. Heat management still isn't that bad. I think the rating was still like 1.4, and if you tweak this, say remove the jump jets, you get 5 extra tons, so that's going to give you more for armor, a light fusion engine instead if you want to keep the speed. You've got the option there for more ammunition, more heat sinks, so yeah, if you're not asked about it being jump capable, you don't have to use it. I don't think I use the jump jets very much in this either, because I'm still not used to having a jump capable Charger. So yeah, it's still good. I really enjoy it. The Charger is one of the most refreshing additions in the assault category for Mechwarrior line in quite a while, because it actually brings something new to the table. A 400 rated engine like that isn't a hero mech, because as it's been pointed out previously, the only 400 rated only 400 rated assault mechs were hero mechs like the Skokomish and stuff like that, and the Pretty Baby, I believe. But this is the first will be the first Seabill variant that will be available that you can do this on an assault, and you know, some people probably won't see the benefits of it, some people will likely see some kind of interesting build, but that's one of the things that MWO really lacks at this point, isn't it? You can introduce as many mechs as you want, but builds are builds. You've only got so many weapons to play around with, there's only so many things you can do. This isn't a game where, you know, you have real world factors to include, say, like World of Tanks might have quirks because of the actual realistic design of the tank had this about it that made it so special or unique. Mechs just work on stats, and you've only got a selection of weapons that will work, so every new mech they add, ultimately, what made them unique originally isn't going to work in MWO, for the most part. You know, that's why I stick to stock weapons, because at least the weapons make the mechs a little bit more unique, in as much as the more you add, the more diluted everything becomes, obviously. So the Charger is a bit different because at least it's an assault mech that allows people to play around with a high amount of speed in such a well-armoured chassis, at the cost of, you know, certain weapons not being available to you, or, you know, without sacrificing some of that very speed. It's a good dilemma. So, yeah, on the point of some of the other things, like, oh, we shouldn't have this mech because X reason, nah. The only way they're going to make money is for introduction. So, Wasp and Stinger, Thug. I know that the Hatamoto exists, a lot of people are like, there's no point in the Thug because I haven't got the Hatamoto. No, you get the Thug because there are people who like the Thug, and they will buy the Thug. It's the same as, you could make this argument, well, we already have a fast-moving mech in this. Well, we don't need any other 20-tonners then. You know, oh, why did we add another 20-tonner? We've already got one. Why did we add another 30-tonner? We've already got one. You know, the logic is stupid. It's silly. It doesn't make any sense to me. It's like the whole point in BattleTech is that there's lots of mechs, and people have their favourites, and people will pay for their favourites, and that's what PGI need to, you know, work on. And people having a go at people asking for their favourite mech is silly, in my opinion. If people want the Stone Rhino, I might not like it, but they do, so give them the Stone Rhino, they'll buy it. That's fucking difficult. I don't know. Anyway, rant over. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that. Have a good week, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye!